If you're an overthinker, stop scrolling and watch this. So for example, you have an argument with someone and then you now get to, you now start thinking of how you could have said it, how you could have responded back to the person because, you know, you had better answer. But it's when you're about to sleep, instead of you to sleep in peace, you're thinking of the argument that the person has already probably even forgotten. Anyways, you are doing analysis and when you're done soon, those people are sleeping. Well done, overthinker. This is another one. When you analyze every facial expression, tone, sitting position of somebody safe, maybe during a meeting, during an event, and then somebody greets you somehow or somebody looks at you somehow, you're busy processing. That's how people used to grow old before their time. Let me give you another example inside this example. So adults will say, obo sheki me, oh moyon kiabi. Maybe you just do like this to them. I know kuleton. Exactly. As young adults, when you have to analyze every feature or attribute or tone that people take or people give you, I don't know if it's just me, but it is stressful. This life is already stressful. So today I'll be discussing signs that makes you an overthinker and how best to go about it. I'm not saying that you are going to suddenly stop or anything like that, but there are ways to hold it together, there are ways to rein it in, there are ways to gradually start working on it. Because if you don't, I have a perfect example. So for me, I'm a perfect chair dancer. Nobody dance past me on the chair. But you see, when I stand up, I freeze. And this is why I'm calculating the person that is looking at me or overthinking the dance steps and dance moves before I even do it. And that for some reason paralyzes me. I know this is not just me because I've had conversations with people and they're like, I think someone is looking at me or someone might be looking at me. So it's making me feel shy. I am a shy person and not all overthinkers are shy. Some overthinkers are extroverts. I'm not putting anybody in any box. However, as an overthinker, I know that this sometimes limits how you interact with people. Imagine going somewhere and instead of you to have conversations with people and use that opportunity to, you know, connect with people and network, because of your overthinking or overanalyzing, you don't end up doing it and you don't know the amount of opportunity that you will lose. Trust me, I know I have lost a lot of opportunity because of this attribute. What's annoying is people will tell you, oh, say your mind, say what is it, say how you feel, express, and then you not tell people, and then you're like, you're just overthinking it. Like, I know. Well, if you're in any of these categories, you've come to the right channel. On this channel, we'll be discussing life situations that we go through that I have experienced, and I would also be getting people to talk about their experiences that we have as young adults. And also, it's not just gist and bants. We'll also be sharing ways to solve them. Oh, before I forget, hi lovelies, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we'll discuss beauty, self-care, self-development, skincare, and lifestyle. So if you're interested in any or all of this, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please share. Also, please feel free to leave comments on your thoughts and questions that you might have. Let's get right into the video. As someone who overthinks and overanalyzes, I know that it can affect our relationship with people as well as productivity. Talking about productivity, you know how you have ideas and then at the end of the day, it's not just you on this planet that has that idea. Because you've overthought or because overthinking, will now overthink, overanalyze, overprocess, and then at the end of the day, procrastinate and not do the things we're supposed to do. And someone else will now do it and you're like, oh, yeah, it a pain. That's why we're having this conversation today. Or when you're having an argument with your partner and his eyes twitches somehow, his nose flares up, and then in your mind you're like, you're already processing the whole thing. Anyways, I believe those are signs that you're an overthinker. Before we go further into the video, let me give you people a gist. I love scents, I love perfumes, and all of that. If you know me, you know that. Because of this my overthinking, anytime I want to buy perfumes, I cannot buy online. I have to wakadube to the store and then check for different scents. Smell it, fill up my nostrils, end up having katasha because of this whole matter. But then I always get the best scents, and I'm going to be plugging you onto the scents. No, this video isn't sponsored or anything like that. I just really love scents, and I'm going to show you. So these are my top 3 scents. This, because it has this this woody / amber scent going on, and it lasts really long. It's warm, it makes you want to hug the person. Followed by this. Now this, the word for it is seductive. So it has an air of class, but also very intriguing, mysterious. See, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to explain it. This used to be one of them, but it just doesn't last as long as I would love. So it low-key gives me a corporate babe vibe, like, you know, those classy rich people. But it doesn't last as long as I would like it. Now, this daddy. Club the New Intense Man. I'm calling it daddy because it's typically for men. And also the size. This is like the biggest size of perfume that I own. Now, one of the reasons why I love it is it has this orange fruity scent and it is not overpowering or overwhelming. And I can layer it with other perfumes. I will tag the name. If you have any of these perfumes, let me know which of them is your favorite and which one you really love. Also, please feel free to recommend more perfumes because I'm a perfume thief. But let's get right back into the video. If you are still wondering if you're an overthinker, here are some signs that you're an overthinker. But more importantly, solutions as well as coping mechanisms. And number 6 is something I know that we all do, even people that don't consider themselves overthinkers. So number 1, fear of making mistakes. A lot of people that overthink actually worry way more about making the wrong decisions or taking the wrong steps, forgetting that life is essentially about taking that leap of faith and trying new things, making mistakes. Actually, most of the people that have succeeded in life have done one thing or the other that would be considered mistakes and wrong stuff. And now they are where they are. If you ask people or if you read about great people, you have there are way too many stories and examples for that. So instead, embrace self-compassion. And by that, I mean forgive yourself when you make these mistakes. Acknowledging your mistakes and setting realistic expectations for yourself will help you manage your fear of making mistakes better. 2, overanalyzing social interaction. Typically, people analyze and dissect interactions in the social space, yes. But as overthinkers, as when you see somebody thinking and processing the thing that was said, that was acted, the way they were looked at, and all of those things. However, instead of doing that, the best bet is always bring yourself to the present. And one thing that someone once taught me was that you are thinking that somebody is looking at you. Other people too are thinking that somebody is looking at them. So they are conscious. And the ones that are not conscious are probably looking at themselves or they are looking at their body. And you are not the only one in that place. And that's for general population. Now if you have to stand in front of the crowd, what I do typically is this. I stare right across everybody's head. Like, I'm not going to be looking into anybody's eyes. Or I have somebody that I'm confident, not somebody that will make you laugh for me, I'm not there. If you like, go and put your sister, someone like my sister, me, I'll be laughing. But at the end of the day, I like to look above everybody's head. And I know that after like 5 minutes of talking, I'll be fine. In fact, what am I saying? After like 1 to 2 minutes of talking, my jitters will reduce. And always try to be present in that situation. Like, bring yourself back into the present. 3, self-doubt. Overthinkers typically question their worth, their abilities, their value, even in situations where someone keeps reassuring them. Now, for people that are overthinkers, I think that we need to learn as human beings to constantly reassure other people when you see that they are facing jitters, instead of making them feel like, why are you over deeping it? Why are you overthinking it? Try to give them reassurance. And if you are an overthinker and there's no one to reassure you, try to calm yourself down. I tend to forget to do it, but the days that I remember to do it and I say maybe positive words to myself or words of affirmation, it really helps to calm me down. Like, it really relaxes my nerves. Make sure to do self-affirmation consistently. Positive affirmations and keeping people that are positive around you would actually really help. So those are some of the things you can do if you are encountering that. Number 4, fear of the unknown. Overthinkers sometimes struggle with uncertainty, fearing what they don't know or what the future might hold or might not hold. And I don't think this applies to only overthinkers. I feel like people, especially now and the way the world is going, it's normal to think that way. However, if you let it overshadow your life and overshadow your thought process, you're not going to move forward and you're not going to be able to do a lot of things with your life and for your future. So instead, focus on what you can control. So real story, I wanted to buy something and then I could not stop calculating, wait, if you get stain and then if you get spots and I cannot wait me, or it's not like I need it now. Basically, I overthought this whole thing to the point where I didn't end up getting it. And when I now really needed it, it was almost times 2. I mean, we know the whole Naira dollar situation. It was basically almost times 2 of the amount I would have gotten it if I ended up buying it then. Number 5, procrastination. It's funny how I gave some of this as examples before of my own real life situation, and then they are part of the point because these are everyday situations. What procrastination does with overthinkers is it will cause delay in decision making, and at the end of the day you don't get to do what you need to do at the right time, and then you have a cumbersome life and everything is just, on top of each other, which isn't really necessary if you look at it. Because, for example, imagine if you had 3 tasks to do today. You ended up doing 1 or 2. Now, this is not about laziness because you were postponing and then you didn't do it. Now, you add it to the ones for tomorrow, but then tomorrow you're unable to even do anything. And then next, because life happens, and then that's why it keeps stopping up. So instead, break your tasks into smaller pieces, into smaller chunks, and reduce workload on yourself. If you need to ask people for help, ask people for help. If you need someone's advice, seek their advice. Don't bottle it all up and then put them on top of each other till you are choked. 6. Now, this is something that everyone does, reliving past mistakes. But for overthinkers, we tend to do it and process even the tiniest bits. And this does not bode well for my hand smells crumbly. Anyways, how this affects overthinkers is we dwell and sometimes stay in the past, and which isn't necessarily good for an active and progressive member of the society. And then you now start replaying them in your head, in your mind, and how you could have gone differently and all of that. So instead, learn from your mistakes. Don't dwell on them. Focus on the lessons that you've learned and use them as opportunities for growth. 7, over-detailed planning. So overthinking can lead to overly detailed and complex planning, and at the end of the day you don't get to achieve a lot because you've made the whole situation way more complex than it really should be. So instead, simplify your plans, simplify your ideas, and focus on what you can achieve as well as essential elements of the things that you need to do. Then make sure to allow room for changes, room for flexibility. That way, when things don't go according to plan, you are not all scattered and all worried and all messed up because everything didn't go according to the way you planned it. The final one, lack of mindfulness, and this is what people call not being present. See, I'm extremely guilty of this thing. Now, let me give you a gist. So there was a day that I went to my cousin's and I forgot my laptop. My work, basically. I forgot it. My source of income. I forgot it and I didn't even realize that I forgot. It's not like I tried to forget or something like that, but then my mind was clogged. I think that's the word for it. My mind was clogged with a lot of things. So I didn't even process that particular situation. Like I just packed what I needed, like what I knew somewhere at the back of my mind that I was not complete. I don't know if someone else is, like, I don't know if any other person experiences that thing where it feels like, I'm light though, but you still keep going, like, or I'm not complete or something. Like, for example, you're going out and you didn't spray perfume. It feels like you're not complete, but you sure don't know what it is. So this day it was my laptop, and I think the reason why that happened was because my mind was so clogged. I forgot about that, and I was not mindful. I was not present in that moment. So instead, try to practice mindfulness. Try to do things, exercises. For some people it's yoga. For some people there's this thing where you rock back and forth, like that makes you present in the moment. Regardless of what it is that works best for you, try to make sure that you consistently and constantly reel your mind in to be present in it's an effort. It's not going to be easy, or it's not a one-way ticket. It's not something that will just happen. So you're going to need to put effort into all of these things, because to be fair, the end result of overthinking every situation is one, your mind is clogged. Your brain is busy. You don't end up doing the things you need to do. You're not able to achieve your plans and your goals. You are overly conscious when you are outside, or when people act one way or the other. People that at the end of the day, they might just be doing their own and minding their business. They don't even send you. But you are busy, you're overthinking. Well done. It also affects your ability to try out new things. For example, you go out and you go and hang out with people and they are playing games. If I play this game, if I do this thing, I'm not going to do it well. So you are going to miss out on a lot of experiences because you're overthinking. You're also likely to miss out on a lot of opportunities because you're overthinking. Okay, my lovelies. So before we end this video, I'm going to drop a quiz. 2 truths and 1 lie, and you should let me know in the comment section which ones you think are the truth and which one you think is the lie. 1, I am married. 2, I am an introvert. 3, I can eat okra and rice. Let me know which one you think is the lie and which ones you think are the truth. So remember, overcoming overthinking is a gradual process. It's not a one-time thing. You are going to have to consciously try to not do these things. And if you found any of the tips that I shared helpful, let me know in the comment section and let me know which tip you found the most helpful. Also, as someone that overthinks, I think one of the things that has really helped me is having support systems, having people around me that don't make me feel worse or overly conscious. So for example, if I go out and I am overthinking the whole, oh, let me stand up to dance, they don't make me feel terrible because I don't want to dance. It's not like I can't dance, it's just that I am overthinking the whole thing and I will actually freeze once I stand up. So they don't make me uncomfortable enough to now make me feel bad because, oh, I am not standing up to dance. Instead, yes, worst case scenario is they will whine me and say, are you scared me or something? And if I say I don't want to dance, I don't want to dance. Like, that is what it is. They will leave me and not also exclude me because they are like positive people. They're not going to necessarily exclude me from the whole setting because, oh, she's not dancing, or make me feel bad because I'm not dancing, or make me feel like I'm doing too much. Or if I'm shy to talk to somebody in a gathering and someone that is close to me, let's say my support system in this instance, would try to do the whole like connection thing without making me feel awkward or anything like that. So if you recognize any of the signs I mentioned in yourself, please do well to develop coping strategies like what I mentioned with support systems. Support systems are basically people that you can run to, people that would hold your hands when life is lifing, which is one of the things that we'll be discussing in the next episode. So once again, make sure to develop coping mechanisms like mindfulness techniques that I mentioned and gave examples of earlier, setting time limits for decision making, or if it's really, really bad, you could see a professional. You don't have to have mental problem or issue to see a professional or get help, because at the end of the day, if it is really messing with your life and affecting your productivity or your general life output, you might need to ask somebody for help. And that's not a bad thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please comment, please like and share, and of course subscribe. Also, please turn on your post notifications so that you know when the next video comes in. Bye, lovelies.